Hey everybody. Well, hope you guys are enjoyed your weekend. And I just wanted to come on here. It's not going to be a very long video. Um and kind of talk about how we coped after Trey's suicide. Which was not very well. We didn't cope at all, obviously. But let's skip forward to the first Christmas. Well, first birthday, and then, well, no, it would be the first Christmas without him was really, really tough. And I think it was really tough on the whole family, not just Donnie and I and the kids. I think it was really tough on the whole family. So I wanted to read something really quick. I pulled up, and when you're grieving, it I don't even know. Honestly, it's like I want to be able to get my thoughts out and share them, but sometimes it's just like I don't know the words how to put it all together. But even though we were grieving, it was very overwhelming. And it's also important to make sure that you don't shut down yourself and not be able to grieve properly. And I don't even know if that is correct. Everybody grieves differently in their own way. And you really have to be there supportive of that person, each other, the family. Now, I know Donnie might get mad about this, but certain family members did not, I'm not saying they didn't reach out, but they didn't continuously reach out to make sure everybody was okay. And I just feel like that was a very disappointing and a downfall of theirs, not ours. So if you have been through that, or even just a death, make sure you always are constantly reaching out. Even if y'all have a falling out, or you're not talking to that certain person maybe you were friends with, I don't know, maybe it was a family member, and you just reach out to them, because it really helps when just letting them know, hey, I'm here if you ever want to talk, or I love you, whatever it might be. But constant, no, I don't mean constantly, like every 5 minutes or every hour, but reaching out really would have, I think, helped Donnie more with his family. Them showing that they are there. And I know for a fact they didn't. It isn't my opinion, that's a fact. I guess that is my opinion, but it is a fact. I feel like if they would have done their part, I think he would have been maybe a little bit better. This mic's getting on my nerves. And maybe would have coped with it better than he did. And I can't sit here and tell people how to cope and how not to cope, or how to grieve and how not to grieve. We also really need to take care of ourselves during the grieving process, because I know not eating and just sitting around in your own thoughts instead of trying to get them out does more damage, in my opinion, to the survivor. But I do wanted to kind of read this right here. Grieving, a suicide loss. It does take time. It really, really does. We never get over it. And I don't care if people want to sit there and say, if you have something that's tragic in your life, and well, you're going to have to just get over it. You can't just get over things. It does take time, and some things you will never ever get over. I've had my own experience with certain things, and I'm not over it. I haven't been over it, and I will never get over it. Am I better? Absolutely. 100%. But getting over it or forgetting, not really forgetting, I don't know the correct word for that. I'm just trying to get my thoughts out here. Anyway, um, we don't ever get over a loss of a loved one, a son, a father, a grandmother, a grandfather, a mom, or a dad. We don't ever get over that. And like I was saying, everybody grieves in their own way. When my grandfather passed away, I was very close to my grandfather. It devastated me. I had not started college maybe a month, and he went downhill quick. I'm just going to say this. I was devastated because I love my grandfather. And I still haven't gotten over that because I miss him every single day. And like I said, everybody grieves in their own way. It's hard to try to have the answers for why this happened. We won't ever know exactly why, ever. We can speculate. You can always speculate, but you will never, ever know. But what you've got to understand, it is not your fault. I know a lot of people say, oh, well, what if you'd have done this or what if you'd have done that? Well, you know what? Maybe. But the situation still would have happened, unfortunately. And yes, it is mental health. But when someone reaches that point, there's no turning them back. None. And it is sad. It is very sad to know that you will never see them on this earth again. You don't have to have all the answers, is what I'm trying to say. You really don't. You can still heal and be open to how you're feeling. And there's nothing wrong with that. Let me read this right quick. Grief is not a burden, and it's really not. It is a normal response to a loss or anything tragic that might happen in your life. It says, as we grieve, we grieve because we experience love and connection. No need to apologize for your grief or your changes in emotions in response to the loss of a loved one. It could be anything. Our suicide. So, I always talk to Trey, and I know he hears. I know he does. And I'll tell you, the other day when I did the video and I heard something I saw something move in the closet. I think we were getting ready Friday night after we did our live. We were getting everything together. Rose comes in here and like everything on the back of her neck is just kind of like standing up and she's just inching in here. Well, I didn't realize, and nobody is in here at all in this bedroom. It's kind of like my YouTube, with all of this equipment. I also have all of my other business that is in here. And a cat ball went off. And if y'all don't know what a cat ball is, it is something that you can use to try to communicate with spirits, okay? The afterlife. It was going off. And she did come in here kind of growling. And Donnie's like, what is she growling at? I'm like, I have no idea. Come in here and the cat ball's going off. And I'm like, well, that explains what I saw. I didn't think anything else about it until just now. I do know he is always here with us, 100%. There are, like this is saying, it's okay to say their name, even if others can't right now. By saying their name, even if you're the only one that can at the moment, doing so might help you and others to talk about the whole situation. Sharing stories and memories and trying to kind of heal a little bit of that tragedy. For me, and Donnie, it took a while. When we went back to his grave, it was just like, it was still so surreal. Like, this is not happening. I mean, there's just no way. We took my father-in-law to his grave, and that about broke my heart. Absolutely about broke my heart. I love my father-in-law. Like, he was an amazing person, amazing man. And to see the decline from such a strong-willed man, that about broke me too. It really did. But we have to keep going. We can't be stuck thinking it's never going to get better. Maybe things do get better. But one thing that always stands out, or maybe not stand out, bothers me, is not knowing why. 100% not knowing why. Not and angry that he wasn't thinking about his family and his kids. And I guess like I said, when you're in that moment, there's no, I hope that, you can turn somebody around, because when they have their mind made up, they're going to be by themselves. And he was by himself, obviously. And it's hard. But don't ever think that you are by yourself. There are support groups out there everywhere. There are, this scrolling across the screen. You can call, or you can text, you can chat with someone. They're there, like it says, 24/7. No matter what day, what time, Christmas Day, whenever, they're there. A lot of people do get really stressed during the holidays. I used to be one of those. How are we going to get the kids something for Christmas? It really isn't about Christmas. It's all very commercialized. But you still want to be able, to get them something. And when they were little, they were growing up, we were scrounging around trying to figure out how we were going to do this and still pay our bills. And now, with everything being so stinking high, I can't even imagine the stress on parents with little ones. My little munchkins, I don't see how my daughter and son-in-law do it. I really don't. But they do. And it's all paid for. So it's not like putting it on a credit card. They don't do that. Actually, they don't even have a credit card. They paid all that off. And, I don't remember, Dave Ramsey, and maybe that's not the right one. They went through that and they got debt free. But, it's something around the holidays to miss a loved one. But it's also something around the holidays when you don't talk to your family members because you're mad at them. And everybody says around the holidays, that's something that we need to be doing every single day, is just reaching out. If you know somebody that has lost someone, a spouse or a parent or parents, just reach out to them. Let them know you're there for them. Let them know that, no matter what has happened, and I say that especially in like a community like some of us have come from, no matter what, even though if I did not really like that person, I'm still going to reach out, which I did on a couple of occasions because I do have a heart. Anyway, we're not going to get into that. But I want everybody to have an amazing Christmas. And please, if you do know somebody that is in need or just needs someone to talk to, please give them my email address. Have them reach out to me. Because no matter what, we are all going through something. It doesn't even have to be a death. We are actually, every household is going through something. And we need to get back to where, I'm about to say this, love thy neighbor. But unlike our neighbor, one of them, I would still probably reach out, even though I don't know them. I mean, we've been here for a while and I still don't know any of my neighbors and don't care to. But if something did happen, I mean, tragically around here, yes, I would definitely reach out. No matter how I feel about them. Same way in some of the communities. No matter how I feel about them, I'm still going to reach out. Whether they respond or not, at least I know that I let them know I was thinking about them. And coping. Coping is hard. Especially the first birthday and the first Christmas without Trey. It's very hard. But we had to rely on each other. That is my whole thing. You have to rely on your family and your friends to cope. Especially if, you're married or whatever. Family members really you need to be able to rely on them. But anyway, you guys have an amazing, amazing Christmas. And we will see you guys Friday. We're going to do another live Friday night with the Smiths. Until our next video, stay salty.